No, so it's still the same.
Best us work for you. Look, man, I'm a youngster. Best represent gentleman, cause I am rock every culture. Painting, acting, build a logo like TP. Just today I'm grinding hard. I want amps, no Illuminati. Going in this work, yeah, digging up this dirt. Yeah. My homie, you better be watching this. The moment stop how we running it. Tune in the FOYER, my homie, I'm popping like all I'm an OG.
Hello bahlali, welcome to the FOYER, where creativity is contagious, so we pass it on. Today we are interviewing
the foodies.
So with us today we have Utando, Uvuyo, Usbu, and Ubule. So please tell us about yourself and what you're about.
We are a family business and we do food, service and catering. We bake cakes, we provide catering to businesses, to people who are having social gatherings, and we do breads, everything food.
Yeah.
Hence the foodies.
Okay, that sounds very interesting. So tell me about the moment you guys decided to start a catering business or a food business. How did you decide that that is what you wanted to do?
Basically, we decided to open the business in 2016. The company has been registered from 2016. It initially started with we are hospitality industry people that are coming, we have a background within the hospitality industry, and it so happened once that we were lazy and we ordered a cake from someone else. I know it's a cliche of a story. That's what happened. Ordered a cake and we weren't happy. We decided that actually we can also try and do it. And then from there, it has grown such drastically within Eland, the cake side of the business, within the food. It's slowly growing. Advertise because it's also based on our qualifications within the hospitality industry. Yeah.
Okay, you mentioned that you guys have training within the hospitality industry.
Yeah.
So tell us ukuthi nafunda kanjani pheka and nokubhaka, and how have you developed your career?
Okay. Jumping into hospitality for me, so when I went and did hospitality, I say it's a family business because Bulila and Uvio are my brother and my sister. So we went and we studied hospitality. I guess it was just like, it sounds very cliche as we said, when you say it's a calling. So it's something that I went into and then I met him, and he is a qualified chef and I studied the management part of the hospitality. And I knew deep down going into it and finishing my diploma in management that I actually want to pursue the cooking side of it as well. So when we met up and linked up, it wasn't a case of Uguti, you're going to stay in your lane, I'm going to stay in mine. So then when we decided in 2016 that actually, yes, we could do this, we saw that we have quite a bit of advantage because I do management and he is in the cookery side. So when we started exploring into it, it just happened naturally, and Umuntu Nomuntu took their part in the two divisions within the business. So growing from there has not been easy, definitely hasn't been, but we keep going, we keep trying. Every time we have a client, we try to go above and beyond our needs, okay? And we are trying to stay as much afloat in terms of our trends, our hospitality and everything that is happening at the moment, because that's another thing that differentiates you from the next person or me from the next business that does the same thing, is that you need to look at what do people want and what are they looking for, what type of service are they looking for, especially being Ilokshin, especially being from a background of Wuti. We know that we are not people of privilege, so we want things, but we end up not having those services around in our neighborhoods, in places that are easily accessible. So ukuthi sokumele uhambe uye Hilton to get a perfect cake. So kumele uhambe uye kuGobi to get a platter that is going to be satisfying to you and your people. So that's what we're about. We are wanting to be accessible to the community, to abantu, to abantu baselokishini, to black people, without that hassle, without having to be overly charged, and without having to worry about the actual service and the quality of the service. Yeah, so we are hoping to grow further than where we are now and expand our business, expand even where we work, expand clientele, all of that. Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned also you try to keep with the current trends within the hospitality business. So I want to know if you guys have a specific influence, or do you have like a specific company that's influencing you, or a specific person, or what is the influence behind the business?
For me, it's all about dominating the industry. That's our for me, that's my greatest influence, because I feel like we have something that is powerful, and we can take it to a decision. Us from this, how we learn from them, we try to create a new standard. That's my greatest influence.
And which part of the work you do would you consider the most artistic or the most creative?
The cakes. Because I feel like in like our cakes, we can put as much effort as we can. Like you don't like if you get a picture from like a client, it doesn't necessarily have to come out like exactly like that. Like you can add a bit of your own touch. So I feel like our creativity is most expressed in our cakes.
Okay. And would you say that is the best part of your career?
Yes. Yeah. It is. I think the greatest thing that I take away from what we do is when you are presenting the baked cake, or you are presenting the platter to the customer, to the client, and they are just speechless. Especially in my cake, we get that a lot. It gives you something. It gives you that push, continue. Even though you will find that a particular customer was very difficult, because people are different, customers are different. So you'll find Mutumund was very difficult from the stage where they placed the order, the stage to the delivery, and then when you do present your work, it then speaks for itself, because you're no longer at that point. You're presenting what it is that you charged for, and what it is that you went through all of that difficulty for. So if umuntu ends up happy at that moment, you know that you have done your job. You've done your job, and you've done your job beyond delivering, because usazolidla, usazotshela abantu, there's going to be photos. So usazokhulumela, and that's the biggest thing. That's why I'm saying that when people are happy in what we are offering, then we feel like that's everything. Yeah. Yeah.
Can I add on? There's this thing that we say when we deliver food, like enjoy, because we know you're gonna enjoy and you're gonna come back. So that's the thing, because we dominate. It's all about dominating the industry, basically. Yeah. My cake for me, my cake would say, okay, my cake it's effortless. Actually, it's pretty much effortless.
I like the confidence. And also I've seen the work, so I mean, exactly. And what are some of the difficulties that you guys face as creative entrepreneurs in Pietermaritzburg? Because there's a lot of negative connotations that are associated with our city. So,
it's target markets. Like people want, it's all about, if you're gonna come up with a price that is too much, they're not gonna take your thing. So you have to be lenient, even though you know your food is standard. But when we grow, will they afford this? So it's risky. That's the main thing. That is, especially for cakes. Cakes, you tell a person that the cake is 500. It's 500. Yeah. That's the thing. That's the most difficult thing that we face.
I think as well as trying to influence a particular customer into a certain direction is also very difficult. As Ugule had said, that we have a problem or we struggle with pricing a lot because of a certain, I don't want to say a certain target, but you end up overcompensating or having to over explain and always have to have a description behind why you're pricing something at a certain price. And I feel like as an entrepreneur, that is something that a lot of people, especially young people, are facing, because you find yourself being questioned a lot on your talent. You find yourself being questioned a lot on the actual service that you're providing and if it's worth the price. And unfortunately, in our business where we are providing services, you always have to explain yourself. And we always want to do that, whether umuntu suke sekuthathile wakubeka at a point of judging you or at a point of already crucify already without knowing your background. You always have to do it, because unfortunately, if we want to grow, those things are things that we have to tackle head on. So I think it's the biggest challenge for a growing business. You're trying to establish your brand, you're trying to get your brand where you want it to be, and people participating within your brand without hesitating, without asking questions. So that is the biggest struggle right now, besides like your supplies and all of that. But the customer for me is the biggest problem, because you always have to stay on top of the customer. You have to stay on top of women's are happy, moving around, offering whatever it is. In terms of your service, that is going to make them want to come back again, because it's not just about the platter, it's not just about the cake. How you handle them from when you start to when you deliver and you leave plays a big part of trying to grow in your business and make a good impression. So the customer part is very much a struggle, but we learn, we move.
Okay, so the next thing I want to know is, what goals do you guys have as a company for 2021?
For 2021 is really to grow the brand of the foodies, as we are professionally within the hospitality industry. Is to really to grow the brand, and also to make sure we see the foodies, we see ourselves into the growth where we want to expand in terms of Sazi, where not only within Maritzburg but all over KZN, and growing and cutting the stereotypes of Uguti. Even within the hospitality and catering industry, there's comrades, because we all know that within KZN, if there's anything that involves any political or whatever parties, so it's really to grow the brand and to see ourselves into the business, really feeding the next generations, and also transferring the skills that we've learned through the years. Because it's not only about saying that the foodies is just making food, but for us it's more of like a way we see ourselves and the way we carry ourselves, and to expand that particularly, and also transfer the passion to giving other people, and not only just family, being within family, because we all can cook, but now it's really about taking that recipe and putting it into the next level, and making sure that it's a well-presented dish, it's a world-class type of a dish. So see the foodies, we want to see that our passion's growing and becoming way much more than what we would say that it is, what it is. So that's the main aim. So Jobabu 2021, times are pretty hard with the COVID. Sometimes COVID, what happens is that there's this level, and then a business, obviously business-led, also goes hand in hand with a bit of drinking. So we can't shy away from that. So it's also trying to expand the business, not only being known as Wutena. After a few drinks, I'm going to have to get some food, but it's really know that the foodies will take care of you. No matter what, the foodies will take care of you. You just come in and you tell us, guys, I've got this idea, and then we'll take care of the rest from word go till the end.
And what message would you like to give young creatives that are sitting at home, that have the talent but no inspiration to start their own business?
The only thing that I always say, even to students, even just young people at home, is that at the end of the day, they don't tell us about the hard work that needs to go in. Hard work is the biggest thing that's gonna drive any business. It's really on your hard work and your efforts that you put in the business. Because at the end of the day, business lako, you need to sleep the business, you need to eat the business, you need to grow the business. So umuntu osehlele ekhaya, you just need to work and push at the end of the day. It's not easy, like as we said, it's not like we say now the next day you can do it, but it's really on the hard work. Izinto engabonakali behind the curtains, calculating the recipe or simple things. So it's really on the putting in the effort. Sometimes the effort doesn't show today, doesn't show tomorrow, but in the long run it will end up showing, and the results you'll see them yourself. But have fun, be inspired by different ideas. Don't see your next person as a competitor, but see them as an inspiration. Because at the end of the day, we're all here to help one another in this journey called life. So have fun, enjoy, try new things, but have fun. Yeah, that's just what I wanted to say.
Okay, and the next question is, I know would say starting a food business can be challenging, and people have preconceived ideas, and especially with you guys, you can face some unpleasant ideas about being a male person in the industry.
Yeah.
So what negative reactions, if you have received any, what negative reactions or unpleasant comments have you received from people when you tell them about what you do?
It varies a lot in terms of what we do. Because first of all, if you take it to umuntu osemakaya uthi umuntu osilisa akapheki, the typical stereotype on certain about kwabanye abantu. And then the challenge is it's also about trying to over-explaining yourself when sometimes there's no need of you over-explaining yourself. That's the biggest challenge also in trying to overcompensate, and then also compromise when as a person, and how you carry on with what you want for your business to succeed. Yeah.
And I'm sure the ladies experience something similar with people assuming that because you are a lady, you are supposed to be in this certain type of business.
For me, it's mostly having to work with Usbu and working with Mbulelani. Usbu is my husband, and Mbulelani as my brother. I do get that a lot, that how man ya pick, or Omunye is gonna be we are peg ngempela, so it does come with a bit of weirdness when people don't understand it's actually a career, just like any other, and anybody can explore into cooking, hospitality. Nakona, hospitality is not one-dimensional. It's saying you have to cook only. There's so many other things. So it's a problem of moving with the times. That's how I would classify it. It's not something any tsunami. If somebody says something about it, I get offended or anything. It's not even the case. But it's about ubafundisa abantu, because in most things in hospitality, you unfortunately have to have the patience to be able to transfer your knowledge to omunye umuntu, and transfer your knowledge, and also convince the next person that this is it, like this is where we are, this is the level, this is the standard, not this and not that. And as I said, you need to stay ahead of trends, you need to stay ahead of what is in right now and what's not. So that again goes into that. So umuntu is not really comfortable or trusting of what is it that you are selling at the time, or what is it that you're offering, or even your capabilities. So yeah, my comments are always gonna come. But I think if you stay on your track and where you envision yourself and where you want to go, then I don't think anybody can change you and what you are about, because as we said, Imarispeck is developing in terms of small businesses. Everybody is trying to find their own piece of the pie. I think if we all stay true to who we are, then we can all share within this pie. We can have 10 different cooks, but we're all cooking something different. We can be doing the same thing, burgers and whatever, but my taste and your taste is not the same, and that's fine. There's no reason to look at that person say threats and say competitor, and I feel like that there's a lot of that in PMB. Unfortunately, we need to break these stereotypes so that we can all grow as youth, because we also have a challenge of the age yet. A lot of people are not trusting us in our services and in our businesses because of our age. They're not trusting our experience. They're not trusting Uguti. We know what it is that we're talking about. If I go and I get on a wedding, umuntu zoti, look, girl, ufike no 30 and no 40. Yes, because that's where you know your strength is in your business, and don't be shaken by comments abantu ukuthi how sebenza namantombazane kodwa niyakha. You know, it's about breaking the boundaries and all of that, and we need to push the envelope as abantu asebabancane ukuthi we're not going to stay la ngoba manje somebody dictated or somebody prescribed ukuthi le field eyale gender le or eyala abantu abakanjena kanjena.
And I feel like people often forget to see like food is a male-dominated industry, because how many celebrity chefs do you know that are women? Mangagi, I'm sure like you can't even count on your hand, like your hand. You will see females mangagi, but males, keep it.
Yeah.
And that's very true, because I also find it very weird, Lucy. When you see a male chef on television, it's completely fine. But when you meet one in person,
it's like
oh,
okay, wait, why do you cook?
Exactly, and it's the same with females as well. You see a female person on television cooking, it's completely fine. Then when you see somebody who's actually making a career out of it, then it's like
what are you doing?
It's a career, you know? So before we close, I would like to know, Uguti, what is your signature dish and what do you love about it?
Okay.
Pasta.
Yeah.
Pasta from scratch. Pasta.
Anything
Italian.
to do with pasta.
Yeah.
So from scratch, as in you make the actual pasta?
We make the actual pasta. We make different shapes of pasta, ravioli. It works out differently. So there's also a bit of taking it also like with French, even African cuisines. It's actually quite amazing from how also Toulouse, people just know it as sweet but and how you can even change it with just salt and water, and how it will become something different. So it's also the simplicity of things and the ingredients that inspire us a cool within a signature dish. So it's a bit hard to say there's this one signature dish that we do. So we're just inspired by the surroundings and also taking a feel from a customer. Because sometimes there's a customer that would come in, hey guys, but I want to have something that's good. So that's also an inspiration to us, that we also want to showcase our capabilities.
Like trying something new.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys for joining us, and can we please have social media handles?
Okay. The foodies on Instagram is at the foodies PMB. Same for Facebook, and you can call us on 062-254-6297. We're based in Bali at J number 37, phase 1. We do offer deliveries throughout Maritzburg. We go as far as Durban. You can call us and find out what is it that we can offer you.
Don't be afraid. Anything that has to do with food, even if it's not on the menu.
The one-stop shop.
Yeah.